Lesson 15, root functions. Aim. Let's analyze a function defined by square root. Alright, 15.1, find the root. Simplify each expression below for all real solutions. Leave any irrational numbers in radical form. So if you remember, real numbers are broken up into two categories, rational and irrational. All right, so radical 4, well, really what a radical tells you is that they're looking for what number times itself is going to bring us to 4. So we know 2 times 2 equals 4. So if I want to take the radical of that, I'm just going to have equal to 2. All right, here we've got a bit of an expression within the radical. So I'm going to evaluate that first. 2 times 15 is 30, plus 2 is 32. All right, so 32 is not a perfect square, so I'm not going to be able to write it as just an integer. However, 32 does have some factors that are perfect squares. One of them being 16. All right, radical 16 times radical 2 is equal to radical 32. So instead of writing radical 16, I know 4 times 4 is 16. So we can write 4 times radical 2, or 4 radical 2. It's the same thing as radical 32. They never asked for this on the region, so I didn't stress it, but you can write it a little bit more simply, and we have a better idea of around where that number is. All right, C, radical negative 16. All right, so I want all real solutions. Is it possible for a positive times a positive or a negative times a negative to equal a negative? No, you need a positive times a negative to equal a negative. So since those can't possibly be the same number, this has no real solutions. Okay. Next up, we have the negative square root of 144. So that negative sign is outside of the square root, so it's okay. It's not going to give us an unreal answer. All right, 144 I know is just the same as 12 times 12, so I can say radical 12 times 12, all under one big roof. And I can then just simply rewrite that as negative 12. All right, again, be careful what is under this roof. It's not 9 minus 8 in the radical, it's just 9. So I can just do 3 times 3, right? Because 3 times 3 is 9, so radical 9 is equal to 3. Minus 8. 9 minus 8, and that's just equal to 1. All right, radical 20. Another number that is not a perfect square, but because some of its factors are perfect squares, we can write it a little simpler. So if I'm thinking about 20's factors, I'm thinking 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. So 4 is a perfect square, so that's how I want to rewrite it. So I'm going to rewrite it as 4, radical 4, times radical 5. Radical 4 can be written more simply as just 2. So I can say 2 rad 5, or 2 times rad 5.